game in 4 years, which is crazy. As you can see, breaking news here.
My
Beast
dog's
mode
back.
is back. That's right. Marshawn Lynch, it's official.
Get
the
it.
Seahawks are signing him, so it looks like that physical went well and everything checked out. And Ian Rapoport is reporting that he will be a Seahawk now officially. So they get some help because they were down their 3 top running backs, and they lost 2 of them this week. So they need it. Obviously, they are a running team, but Marshawn coming back. How many times has he retired?
That's a funny thing. He hasn't retired.
I guess he hasn't retired, but how many times has he gone from not playing to bam, thrown back?
He's back.
It's got to be nice when somebody loves you, right?
Hey, listen,
Seattle loves Marshawn
I was going to call
baby.
Pete Carroll myself. Text him like, hey, Pete, just give me like a week. I'll be right for you. But look, again, Marshawn's going to bring a different attitude to this offense. I think the way he carries himself in the locker room, he's going to come in right away, fit right in that locker room. He understands what they need. And it's not like he's going to get 30 touches. He may, but I don't think he's going to get 30 touches right away. You have Robert Turbin there, obviously Homer as well. But you don't need Marshawn on some of them third and shorts to use that will and that grit to run through someone and get it. And again, he brings an attitude.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge part of it.
Yeah, talk about that attitude.
He's going to bring an attitude, and he's going to do his thing. Look, contact balance, all that's still there.
Yeah.
That never leaves you. All that never leaves. Now, the speed may leave you, but we talked about in the green room, D-Hall, he's not known as a speed guy. He can get out of there if he needs to.
He's more of a power dude.
Hey, look, Marshawn wasn't great because he was the best specimen. He was great because he had that willpower inside to say, hey, look, it don't matter. If it's me versus you or me versus you and you, I'm going through you. And so for me, it's not even about can Marshawn come out here and do all these spectacular things on the football field. When you talk about the attitude and mindset he brings to that locker room, I don't care if he gets a single snap. His energy will rub off on every young guy in that locker room. He's been through every critical situation in a Seahawks uniform, and that's the kind of equity I think a lot of those young guys lean towards and look for, out of veteran players. And so to have a guy like Marshawn Lynch, who's experienced all that, to be thrown back in your locker room at this vital point of the season where you're about to go on this playoff run, invaluable, man.
And it's not like he has to learn a new offense.
Well, that's
the same. It's been the same
same
offense since he's been there. I mean, he's gonna get his Skittles. He's back in Seattle where it all started.
That fan base, the 12s, man.
Oh, they jumping crazy. They're jumping right now.
12s going crazy.
I'm not even mad at it. I hope whoever had 24. I hope they didn't. They know they're giving that up.
Oh, they have to.
Yeah, whoever got that. I mean,
how effective do you think he'll be though after not playing all season? I mean, I just wonder what kind of shape is he in? Are you really, when you're not playing, are you really working out that hard all the time?
So I don't know his workout routine and what he was doing. I had read on Twitter that he had went up to Seattle maybe like a month or so ago and was kind of telling them, look, I'm in shape. If it ever comes down to it, because again, we know this season's a marathon. But the one thing about Marshawn is he doesn't have to break. He's not going to break these 60, 70-yard runs. All right, now, that's not his game. You just want someone that's going to have some respect. The defense is going to respect him. And until he steps out there, all you can go off of his last tape. And when he was in Oakland that last year before he got hurt, he was running through cats. And so
hard to deal with.
And he's tough to tackle. So now Russell Wilson's been seeing nothing but 2 high safeties. They've been doing all these different things. Let's see if you do it here with beast mode. And I guarantee you, at least remember this game? With the game on the line, I guarantee they give him the ball on the 1-yard line this time.
Yeah,
Bet your bottom dollar that.
Yeah, and MJD, you talk about you don't know what kind of shape he's in. Look, I don't care what kind of shape Marshawn Lynch is in, because I know when it's between you and whoever is in that hole, he will not be denied. He's that kind of runner. You talk about Adrian, we talk about Adrian Peterson a lot and being able to continually play at the age he's at. Marshawn Lynch falls in that same category. He might not be posting all these workout videos like AP's posting, but I tell you what, Marshawn Lynch he's built to last.
Who knows?
So I can't wait to watch him run that ball.
Maybe he's at the gym every morning. Maybe he's doing hot yoga. Maybe he's doing all sorts of stuff. We don't know.
It's working. Tell me so I can bounce back too.
We're all trying to do it right now, right? All right, guys. Well, we'll have much more, obviously, on the details of that signing between Marshawn Lynch and the Seahawks reporting that, and we're going to bring him in right now to find out some more details on how this all went down. We knew he was there, had to get the physical, visited with the team yesterday. It sounds like everything went well. So, Ian, what more can you tell us?
Well, Marshawn Lynch spent most of today at the Seahawks facility, heading over there in the morning, and the culmination of really what has been a couple weeks of wondering and a little speculation, and something that Marshawn Lynch clearly wanted to do when he visited the Seahawks a couple weeks ago. Didn't know it would be something that would actually happen. And then, of course, the Seahawks get the major injuries. Chris Carson out for the season. C.J. Prosise out for the season with a broken arm, and opening the door for Marshawn Lynch. Clearly the best free agent running back option out there. They also signed Robert Turbin, by the way. But for Marshawn Lynch, he hadn't played since he played for the Oakland Raiders last year. He was a free agent. He had not signed his retirement papers. There was nothing stopping him from signing with back with Seattle, of course, the team where he had so much success and basically became beast mode. He just needed to pass the physical, which I'm told he did. Everything was fine, and now officially signed and back in the fold in Seattle.
All right, Ian, working hard all hours of the night during the holiday season. Good for you, my man. Thank you so much for that update. So Marshawn Lynch returns to the Seahawks. It's been a minute since we saw him on the field, obviously, and everybody reacting out there. Walter Jones there. I reckon I'll see you at the facility this week, Money Lynch. Let me know if you need anything. See you Sunday at the game for sure. Okay, like it. Dwayne Wade, beast mode. Okay, look. Real recognizing real all over the place.
Everybody knows what time it is.
They definitely do.
Well, they really needed some help there with all the injuries that Ian outlined there. So how much better does this make them now with him there?
It's tough to say if it makes them better or worse, because not only did they lose running backs, you lost Dwayne Brown, your left tackle, as well. So they got hit with a rash of injuries. But I tell you what, like we talked about it before, it's the attitude and the way he brings. And I wish Mike Robb was here, because Mike Robb probably could talk more in depth, because he was on some of these teams that Marshawn Lynch was on. But growing up with him and knowing him, first of all, as a person, he's a great dude. He's just a great person. Like, he'll give you the shirt off his back if you need it. And sometimes that is something a team may need. And then the second thing is, he's going to help in the passing game, picking up blitzes, because he's not afraid to do that. He's a great receiver out of the backfield. And when you get him the opportunities to run the ball, like D. Hall said, like, he's going to give you the tough yard, which you're going to need in the playoffs.
Yeah. And I don't know Marshawn Lynch personally, but I've had to play against this dude, and it was no other guy that I've ever played against at the running back position, Adrian Peterson included, that dudes would sit there and you could see it in their face, the nervousness, like, man, because this dude does not know how to stop. He does not know how to quit when you talk about running the football and just the passion in which he plays this game. And like I said, I don't care if Marshawn Lynch can't run the football and goes out and doesn't do anything or doesn't even get a snap. Just having his presence in that locker room is going to be different. I can remember when the Redskins brought in Adrian Peterson, and I'm like, look, I don't care if he plays at all. Having a Hall of Fame type caliber player in that locker room to teach these young guys what's going on. And you really need it now in Seattle, knowing that Homer's the only guy who's active on that roster who has been there from day one, and he's a rookie who hadn't got a lot of carries. And so having a veteran guy like Marshawn Lynch in that locker room to help guide him, he's one of the hardest workers I've heard in a facility. So, just having him around these young guys, I think will be definitely contagious for those guys to just get that energy Marshawn Lynch is always putting out.
I like the Marshawn Lynch plan. I like, you know what, you sit out the regular season, and then you come in when it matters most. And everybody's like,
I wish you would have texted me that, because I would have definitely been ready for it.
And you know what? You're right. I wish Mike Robb was here, too. Maybe we can get him on the phone. I don't know what he's doing. He's probably sleeping on the East Coast. He might be sleeping. But breaking news here, Ian Rapoport reporting that Marshawn Lynch signed a one-year contract with the Seahawks after they lost their two top running backs yesterday. They were down 3, and now Marshawn is back. The last time he came off the couch, guys, in 2017, he went wild with the Raiders. If you look at what he did over the year, 207 carries, 891 yards, 7 touchdowns. So we'll see if he can be as productive.
Saying we got a chance.
Yes, I am. All right. Tonight, though, the game was the Packers and the Vikings. Dalvin Cook not playing there on the sidelines. Third quarter, Packers trailing by a point, and Aaron Jones, he fixes that real quick. 12-yard score. They take the lead 17-10 after that 2-point conversion. Then fourth quarter, Aaron Jones takes the handoff, and it's 56 yards there for the touchdown. He had himself a night, career-high 154 yards. The Packers, they win 23-10, and Tom Pelissero, he caught up with the Smiths.
Zadarius Preston, your NFC North champs, you finished it off against your division rivals. What are the emotions like right now? Man, it's crazy to know like how we started off and how we came to this second to last game and took the division.
We fought through a lot of adversity. Man. We stuck with our guns, man. We kept fighting. We knew that if we keep fighting, man, good things would happen for us, man. Yeah. We had to play good defense, help our offense out, man. They got back on track, and they sealed the deal for us.
Yeah. 3.5 sacks for you tonight, Za'Darius. Preston took the other half. Kirk Cousins never looked comfortable. How did you affect him so much?
Like we said earlier in the interviews, we just had to stop the run. You know, we had to play our gaps, be responsible for what we had to be responsible for. And after that, we can have some fun on third down. And as you can see, man, we had a great time getting after the quarterback. And we got this dub, man. It's an amazing feeling, man.
Your offense has gotten kicked around a little bit of late. Tonight, they ran it, they passed it on a really good Vikings defense. How dangerous can this team be when they're rolling on that side of the ball, too?
Man, when they're rolling on this side of the ball, man, we can go the distance, man. We know we got their back, they got our back. As long as they keep on doing their thing, keep the ball rolling, and we're gonna do some great things this year.
Still some work to do. You can wrap up a first-round bye. You still have a shot at the #1 seed. How do you keep the juice here and make it happen next week at Detroit?
We keep the momentum going, man. We make sure everybody stay home and keep working, man. We're not done yet. We know we're not done. We know we got to go out there and keep on putting in work, man, to seal the deal next weekend versus Detroit.
You're feeling a lot here, Za'Darius.
Yeah.
Why does this mean so much to you?
Give me a second. Because we was in the locker room. Let me take it. I got it. All right. We was in the locker room, and I told them, boy, man, the only thing I want for Christmas is a hat and a T-shirt, man. And we pulled it off, man. So we're going to go celebrate this win, and we're going to get ready for next week for Detroit.
Congrats to both of you. We'll see you next weekend in January.
Yeah.
They almost ran right over Tommy P.
Tom over there better be careful.
Wow, I mean, Za'Darius Smith now, how can you not root for him? I guess if you're like a Vikings fan,
or
I get it.
Bears
I get it.
fan,
or Bears, or like anybody else in the NFC. But come on.
Even if you are a Bears fan or a Vikings fan, to hear this kid talk about playing football,
right?
A child's game that we all take for granted, and just, what you want for Christmas? Man, I want this hat and this jersey, and this T-shirt which says we're division champs. And to watch those dudes rally, that's what they needed in Green Bay. They needed another sounding board on that defense to stand up and take some onus. And they haven't had a guy like that since probably C. Woods left that place.
No question.
Clay was there for a little bit, but Clay kind of got hurt a lot towards the end of his run there.
And they switched his position
in Green Bay. They switched him around. The inside linebacker really didn't let him do what he did. What made him special. But to watch Za'Darius Smith, man, and Preston Smith was a dude that I raised as a young rookie, and I've always said Preston had all the tools in the world, but it was hard to watch him have to measure himself against Ryan Kerrigan,
right? Because
Ryan Kerrigan's just not a dominant pass rusher, and I love Ryan Kerrigan. Very, very consistent pass rusher. He'll be the all-time sack leader in Redskins history when it's all said and done. But that dog that Za'Darius Smith has, it's rubbed off on Preston, and you can see those two, man, those guys work well together. Kenny Clark, too. Yeah. Shout out to him. Martinez at linebacker, he's balling. Jair Alexander. This defense is...
Kevin King.
They come into play. Kevin King. Oh, my goodness.
I know. Za'Darius, though.